Hello everyone, welcome to iExamB. In today's session, I'm going to talk about the finance and management paper been in this paper, and based on our understanding of the various topics, what type of topics are coming, what type of questions are coming, what should be our future strategy and how we should prepare for the finance and management paper for 2023. So let's start with having a look at the syllabus. It's a very wide syllabus because it's covering two topics. One is your finance. So paper 3 consists of your general finance and management. And finance is basically covering your financial system, the understanding of the various regulators, the various financial institutions, the banking system, the various kind of other C's that exist, and how the entire financial system is structured. The second aspect relates to the financial markets, all kinds, forex, money, bond, equity, how they function, what are the instruments, what are latest developments happening in any of these markets. And then there are a lot of general topics which are very pertinent to understanding the financial system, like risk management in banking system, how derivatives can be used in the financial markets and the financial system, the global financial updates, financial inclusion, which is a very critical area on which RBI concentrates, the alternate sources of finance. We know how the financial system has been evolving. The fintechs have come in, various other modes of funding have come in, AIFs have come in, peer-to-peer lending have come in. So what are the different alternate sources of finance that are happening in the country? And updates related to the budget, inflation, and fintechs. Fintechs, as I said, is a topic that was added in 2021 and is very important. And even RBI has been, focusing on this. A separate department was created for fintechs in last year also. So this is broadly your finance syllabus. And then the second aspect of this paper is management, which consists of understanding the management concepts, the organizational behavior, the leadership styles and systems and theories, the motivation styles and systems and theories, and the organizational behavior, how it is developed, how it structures, how it is evolved, what are the personality traits, what are the perceptions, how change takes place, change management is there, and then the second aspect is ethics at workplace and corporate governance. Very important. Corporate governance has been always very important in the banking system, and due importance is given to this topic under the management syllabus by understanding the ethical standards and the dilemmas that will be faced, and how to overcome and how to maintain ethical behavior at workplace, especially in the banking system, and also corporate governance, and using good communication, effective communication, to ensure good behavior and good practices at the organization. So that's a very wide syllabus given. However, if you break down and study it systematically, the syllabus is actually very direct, and the questions have also come very directly from the syllabus if you have a good understanding of the syllabus. So let's try to now look at how the breakup between these two subjects have happened in the past. So I've looked at data for the past 5 years. In 2017, 18 and 19, the variation, the split between management and finance concepts hovered around 50% only, but it was not exact. Sometimes management was a little more, sometimes finance was a little more. After 2019, when the exam took place in 2021, there was a pattern change in the examination, and we had moved to a 50% objective and a 50% descriptive exam pattern. And in this, since then, the split between management and finance has been exactly 50%. So in our descriptive, we get 6 questions, 3 of 15 marks and 2 of and again 3 of 10 marks, and we have to attempt 2 and 2 questions from the section. So these three questions have been 3 of management and 3 of finance in 2021 also, and in 2022 also. When we talk about the objective, there are 10 questions of 1 mark, and then there are 20 questions of 2 marks that are there in your objective paper, and here again the split has been exactly 50%, with 5 questions of 1 mark and 10 questions of 2 marks coming from management and finance each. So the split is exactly equal, so we cannot neglect any one aspect for the other in our preparation overall. So this has to be kept in mind, and as I said, the pattern was changed in 2021, so the questions before this were only objective. However, from here it was objective plus descriptive. So let's now look at the topics that have come in the finance over the last 3 years I am discussing. When I am discussing about 2019, please remember this was 100% objective paper. So the number of topics and the type of questions that had come were wider in terms of 2019. The focus areas, the topics that were mostly focused on in 2019 were related to the banking system. Here, when I'm talking about the banking system, especially talking about small finance banks, payment banks, this has been something very important and focused upon, because these were the new types of banks being talked about more and more that time. So a lot of conceptual questions related to these had been covered in 2019. Then there were conceptual questions related to money market. We know within the financial markets, money market is one market which is regulated by RBI. So this is a recurring topic across a lot of competitive exams, where different types of instruments used in the money market and different questions related to them are asked again and again. Then there were conceptual questions related to risk management and derivatives. Then a lot of fiscal policy related updates, news-based kind of concepts, news-based questions also directly had been asked in 2019 paper. And then the banking sector related updates, dynamic portion in phase 2 is always important in RBI exam. In ESI paper, in fact, the percentage of questions coming from the dynamic aspect is very, very high, almost touching 90 to 100% in ESI. In finance, this variation happens. Sometimes there is 50%, 60%, sometimes even 30-40%. However, there is definitely questions inspired from the news. Some can be directly news based, some can be conceptual questions, but they are inspired from the news that is relevant. If I move to 2021, this is when we had moved to objective plus descriptive pattern of exam. In this time, our questions, especially objective questions, were focusing on the capital markets. There were conceptual questions related to capital markets, who is regulator, different type of intermediaries that exist in the capital markets. Related to them, questions had been asked. Then payment system related questions were there, but these were mostly conceptual questions that were inspired from the news itself. PPI, prepaid instruments related questions, about the NEFT, the NASH systems, there were questions related to that. Then PPP model conceptual questions were there. That time, the FASTag had been, concept of FASTag, what had been brought in under NPCI. So there were a lot of questions related to that, and also the PPP models and how the government viability funding happens. So conceptual questions related to this topic were asked in 2021 objective paper. Regulatory sandbox. As I said, in 2021, fintech topic was introduced, and under that, RBI has established a regulatory sandbox for helping new fintech companies to live test their products in different themes. So regulatory sandbox related questions last year had been asked in objective paper. And then there were FDI limits related questions that were asked. So descriptive questions had been very directly from the syllabus, and that trend continues even in 2022. We have already done a detailed video related to descriptive questions asked in FM, in ESI, even objective questions we have discussed for ESI in very detail. For FM, we are preparing, and it will be available very soon via exam. In 2020, if I talk about the objective, the topics that they had touched upon were LEI, PIDF, guidelines related to NBFCs and prudential norms for scheduled commercial banks. There were CSR related questions and MSME definition. They had asked the small enterprise definition, what were the criteria. So if I look at these topics, some were conceptual, some were news inspired, but all of them were something that RBI had been focusing on. While doing our classes, while doing our offline classes also, we had laid a lot of stress in understanding NBFCs, because this is, if you have been following RBI, the various statements coming from the governor or from the deputy governors, you will notice that NBFCs is a segment, is a sector that RBI is watching closely. They had even red flag that, you know, various risks can emanate from this particular sector. So this is a very, very focused area in which we had been telling students again and again that you have to understand what the RBI is working towards, what is their focus area, what are the elements they are interested in. CSRs, again, you know, all the regulators, whether it is SEBI or RBI, had been talking about corporate governance, social responsibility. Even the ESG guidelines have been brought in by for reporting purposes by SEBI. So social responsibility is something which is talked about a lot and being inculcated in the corporate world or in the financial world overall. MSME sector has been one critical sector after COVID that has been receiving continuous support from the regulators and from the government. Okay, PIDF, in our last monetary policy, RBI had given updates related to PIDF. They had also talked about this in their annual report. Similarly, for LEI, there was a lot of talk about it in the annual report. So we have to pick up clues and accordingly keep preparing. This is what exactly we had been doing for our students in our classes, both online and offline. If I look at the trend for the management topics, if I categorize, they are very less, and that is what had been concentrated on again and again. In 2019, leadership styles, various motivation theories, the understanding of managerial roles and management principles, corporate governance and human resource development. This was a topic in 2019 syllabus. It was directly as such dropped from 2021. However, it continues to form in an indirect manner an important part of management understanding. In 2021, organizational behavior, because a lot of HRD basically comes into organizational behavior, it forms a part of that. So they took the broader topic of organizational behavior, the personality concept, the perceptions concepts were brought in, and questions related to that have been asked in 2021. The Kurt Lewin model, change model, is directly mentioned in the syllabus. There was an objective question last year also and this year. Questions related to morale, motivation theories and barriers to communication were other areas in which questions were asked. In 2022, communications remained a very important topic. Motivation theories had directly been asked. The content motivation theories was what was asked more. The change model was again, objective questions were there from that. Management principles, the 14 management principles given by Henry Fayol. There was a question related to one of those principles. Ethics, simple 1 marker question was there, and 1 marker question on the Big Five model. Again, this is a model that is explicitly mentioned in the syllabus, and we had talked about this more again and again and again. So if we see the common thing, the motivation theory is a recurring topic always, and especially the content theories. So understanding those were the initial theories and very important and continue to be important despite so many more theories evolving over the time. So that and communication is very, very critical for RBI, because as managers, it's a very important skill to have overall. So these were the topics that were discussed in management. If I talk about iExamB's course, we concentrate, we understand, we do the trend analysis, and also because of the faculty that we have who have actually worked in RBI, understand RBI well, and how the organization thinks and what type of officers they are looking at. Because of all this understanding, we are able to make very focused content which helps in your focused preparation in a faster manner, saving your time and helping you prepare 50% faster. And the proof of this you can see is about the coverage. If I talk about the finance and management paper coverage over the last 3 years, in 2019 we had a 92% coverage. This was 100% objective paper. Once we move to 2021, our descriptive paper, in 2021, out of 6 questions, 5 questions we had covered. So 84% in percentage terms it is that there was in descriptive. In objective we had 88% coverage. This year this has improved drastically, with descriptive coverage being 100% and objective coverage being 90%. It could even be higher. However, a lot of management questions students have been unable to recall, so we are giving that benefit of doubt to a lot of questions which students are not being able to frame correctly and being able to help us with. So giving benefit of doubt to that, we are excluding such questions that we have not been able to get any inputs from students about, and otherwise we have a 90% coverage. Students have come back and actually stated what classes had actually helped them, which tests have actually helped them. Even the last minute 300 question series that was run by CP Chandra Prakash Joshi sir had a lot of questions covered both in our FM paper and our ESI paper, which is available on our YouTube channel. You can very easily go and watch it. So accurate coverage is not something that happens by luck. This is because of rigorous analysis, rigorous time inputs we get from the experienced faculty like Dr. Sanjeev Sharma, who is ex-CGM RBI, Mr. Sushil Ragde, who has been guiding mentoring for RBI exam for more than a decade now, Chandra Prakash Joshi sir, ex-AGM RBI, and again mentoring for RBI exam for the last 5 years, Arunima Sinha ma'am, myself Prachi Agarwal, Shikha Malhotra ma'am, and Amit Padi sir, all of us who have more than 5 years of experience now in mentoring and guiding students for the preparation. So what is the learnings out of these, the way forward? So we have to very nicely understand the syllabus of the RBI exam. Then we have to keep track of the news and the updates that are happening and what the RBI guidelines are. We have to really understand RBI's focus areas and the government's focus area in the economy. We have to keep strengthening concepts related to all the underlying news and guidelines that RBI is giving. And management syllabus is easy, coverage is easy, however the questions still get confusing. Why? And therefore it requires regular reading of articles, regular discussions in classes, regular case study involvement, which helps us to understand the syllabus and the nitty-gritties. In line with this plan and our understanding, we have started guiding a new batch for 2023, and the classes started yesterday, July 1st. The intro session was taken by Sushil Ragde sir. He will also be taking regular classes for ESI, for finance, and our other expert faculty for quant. We know that the quant paper was difficult this year, so expert faculty quant will be taking regular sessions, from the basic till the high level questions for reasoning and for English and GA, in addition to phase 2 subjects of ESI and FM. To have a holistic preparation, made the plan for 6 months classes in a systematic manner to prepare you holistically for all type of paper that can come in 2023. We will also be conducting our Extreme B, which is the only online and offline learning course. We did the first 2022 batch in New Delhi, and for 2023 we will be coming up with more batches. The first batch for offline and online hybrid Extreme B course we are coming at Pune. So if you are interested in knowing any more details about the online or the online plus offline Extreme B course, you can reach out to us on our website, or you can also contact us on the number given on our screen. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Wishing you all the best for your